Thank you. Morning, everyone. Good morning. The Redevelopment Agency meeting of December 6, 2023 is called to order. This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being video recorded as well as presented live on KCLV Cable Channel 2. You may also watch the meeting live on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and the Go Vegas app. Redevelopment Agency meeting, as well as all other KCLV programming, may be viewed on the internet at www.kclv.tv/live. These proceedings will be rebroadcast, KCLV Channel 2, and the web, the Wednesday of the meeting at 8 p.m., also Friday 4 a.m., Saturday 7 p.m., and Sunday at 7 a.m., the following Monday at 5 p.m. This building is protected by state-of-the-art fire detection and suppression sprinkler system. If alarm should activate during today's meeting, please evacuate using the exit at the back of the chambers, go out to the mezzanine, proceed out the double doors to the terrace, and get down the back staircase. For anyone who has difficulty with stairs, please check with a marshal or fire official for assistance. Once outside, assemble on the northeast corner across the street from City Hall at Lewis and First Streets. Employees wearing safety vests or city marshals will inform you when it's safe to re-enter the building. For public comment related to items on the agenda, citizen participation, and public hearing items, we have available a speaker card which you may complete and submit to our city clerk up front here. Cards are available in the clerk's office at the rear of these chambers, but if you do not submit a card, it does not prevent you from speaking under public comment, citizen participation, or specified public hearing items. If anyone's present today who has need for hearing impaired equipment, please see our city clerk staff. And if you parked in the parking garage across the street, a self-validation machine is located in the foyer between these chambers and the security desk you walk through to enter our chambers. You must have your ticket with you to use the machine. However, if you do not, please see security personnel when exiting for a validation coupon. We'll move on to agenda item 3. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. The amount of time any single speaker may be limited. All comments will be cross-referenced to those specific items. If anyone submitted a speaker card who wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda, please come to the podium, state your name for the record. We'll set the time at a minute. Good morning.
Good morning, Councilman and Councilwoman. Name Andre, A-N-D-R-E, last name Edwards, the second. He has the card. Just to say, on the agenda, I was following in community development, and how much time do I have before I say this? 1 minute, just, okay. Oh, so it's not, so just state what's on the agenda, right?
This is,
Oh, okay.
that's at 9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock, oh, okay.
Yes.
I was just going by the,
No,
okay.
you're up early, and it's wonderful you came down. Enthusiastic, too. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak under this portion of the agenda on our redevelopment? All right, we'll move on to agenda item 4. We're going to hear the next two items together but taken separately in voting. Item 4 is RA 152023, and item 5 is RA 162023. Discussion for possible action regarding resolutions finding the project proposed by the Multifamily Residential Unit Improvement Program, MFR-UIP, and Multifamily Visual Improvement Program, MFR-VIP, agreement between the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency, RDA, and the Nevada New Bills LLC and RR Group LLC, located at 1922 Fairfield Avenue, to be in compliance with and in furtherance of the goals and objectives of the redevelopment plan, and authorizing the execution by the RDA of MFR-UIP agreement not to exceed $50,000, and the MFR VIP agreement not to exceed $25,000, both from the RRDA Special Revenue Fund. Redevelopment Area 3, that's with Councilwoman Diaz. Note these items are related to our council agenda, items 29 and 30, R47-2023 and R48-2023. Good morning. Morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Madam Mayor and members of council. Ryan Smith, Director of Economic and Urban Development for the record. I'm excited to bring forward this visual improvement program as well as the residential improvement program agreement between the RDA and Nevada New Builds LLC, as well as RR Group LLC, represented today by Mr. Glenn Plantone. Before I jump into the presentation, I want to thank a few people from the EUD staff, Eric Bordenave, Tracy Wright, our legal department, as well as Mr. Plantone and Mr. Renan. Jumping into the presentation, you can see the parcel here at 1922 Fairfield Avenue, just to the west of the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino. A little context for the neighborhood. It's a mix of multifamily apartments, commercial properties. We have our own Stupak Community Center. As mentioned before, the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino, as well as some industrial buildings in the area. This is currently the before pictures of the property. It's a 24-unit, two-story multifamily property. Again, just an aerial view of that property, obviously needing repair, interior and exterior. Some of the before pictures of the interior photos. Now the pretty ones. Moving into what it will look like after Mr. Plantone does his improvements. You can see new bathrooms, kitchen, new electrical, new plumbing, new flooring and hardware, also new fixtures. And then you can see some of the exterior improvements after. The picture on the bottom right is a project that Mr. Plantone has already completed in the area, which is the inspiration for the improvements for the exterior of this new project. You can see there's new paint, fencing, landscaping, lighting, and he will upgrade the parking lot as well. So with that, I would like to turn it over to Mr. Plantone to add any additional comments.
Very good, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. When we purchased this, which was only about 3 months ago, it was pretty rundown. It was built in the early 70s. It's not really been updated over the years. Our goal, obviously, is to do like we did with the other picture you saw was 522 East St. Louis, which we finished about a year ago, and it's been a real winner for us. It's worked out well. It's been fully occupied the whole time we've had it. And as you know, there's a shortage of housing. We don't plan to have other than normal renters in there. They had government programs in there, nothing against the government programs, but they were not well run. The rents were pretty high actually for the few they had in there, but they were mismanaged. And so when we took it over, it's a funny story, when we bought it, he told us that we had 20 of 24 units occupied, and it turned out to be about 10 out of 24 occupied. So we only have 10 tenants right now. We've been able to consolidate them all up to the second floor. And we're planning to start our rehab on the first floor first, and then when we're done with that, the good tenants will move downstairs, the other tenants will move out, and we'll renovate the whole building because we plan to renovate each unit. And we're looking right in the $20,000 to $25,000 range per unit. And of course, parking lot upgrades with new fences and lighting, resurfacing the parking lot, landscaping, that kind of thing. So we're excited about the project. We've done a couple smaller ones. This is a bigger one, and it should be a good project for us.
Couple of questions, and maybe council has them before we turn it over to Councilwoman Diaz. I know the building, when you were showing the initial photo, was two-story. This last photo looked like one-story. There was a building on the photograph to our right that is no longer there. So I'm wondering, yes, the building, well, if you go to the top, you see it's two-story. You go to the bottom, it's one-story. You go to the top, you see the building immediately to the right in the back there, and it's gone. So I don't understand.
met.
Oh, let me explain.
okay.
I'll explain. So the top building is the 1922 Fairfield. That's the one we're renovating, all good. We also own land on the other side of it. We own 1900 Fairfield, and we own the 215 and 225 Philadelphia that's been entitled for an 87 unit. So those buildings have been torn down, but this building we're just planning on renovating. The bottom is 522 East St. Louis. When we bought that one, we renovated it. When we bought the one next to it on St. Louis, that's the one that got burnt down by the homeless. So
Yes.
we demoed that. And we bought the other one next to it on St. Louis, the corner of St. Louis and Paradise, burned down by the homeless, torn down. And then we own 10 lots along St. Louis, and we've demoed all those buildings. So that, excuse me, on Paradise. So that's going to be a whole nother project that we're talking about.
And this particular picture on the bottom will be two-story, not
No,
the
no.
one?
That stays the way it is. We've
Totally
already,
different building?
yeah, we've already gone through that renovation, and that
Okay,
one's
what
doing
it
real
will
well.
look like?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Comments, questions, council? Councilwoman?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. Plantone, we're very excited that you're taking on projects to revitalize older apartment buildings such as this one from the 70s. It's hard to believe that that's kind of my age, and to say that it's old, but it's all good. We appreciate your investment and your dedication to lifting our neighborhoods and our community, and with that, I move to approve Agenda Item 4.
Wonderful. There's a motion to approve Agenda Item 4. Please vote. Please post. That carries unanimously. And please on 5.
And I move to approve Agenda Item 5.
Thank you very much. There's a motion on 5. Please vote and please post. Wonderful. Congratulations.
Well, thank you,
Both have
Mayor.
carried. We appreciate it. Mr. Smith as well.
Much appreciated. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Agenda Item 6, RA 172023, discussion for possible action regarding a resolution consenting to undertakings of the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency to be in compliance with and in furtherance of the goals and objectives of the redevelopment plan, authorizing the execution of the First Amendment to Disposition and Development Agreement, DDA, between the agency and Art House 4, LLC developer, for the development mixed-use project generally located D Street and Jefferson Avenue, not to exceed $11 million, RDA Special Revenue Fund, Redevelopment Agency Ward 5 of Councilman Creer. This item is related to Council Item 31, R492023. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning again, Madam Mayor and members of council. Ryan Smith, Director, Economic and Urban Development for the record. Once again, excited to bring forward this amendment to our disposition and development agreement between the RDA and Art House 4 LLC, represented today by Mr. Grant Garcia. Again, want to thank a few different people from staff, from the EUD staff, Jonathan King, Tracy Wright, again, our legal department, and of course, Mr. Garcia and Mr. Sam Cherry, who's also a principal in this project. Jumping into the project, as mentioned, this project is located on D and Jefferson. It will be a mixed-use development consisting of a minimum of 100 apartment units, 15,695 square feet, of which roughly 6,165 would be designated for a food or market hall. There'll be a 45-lot parking lot, Festival Street, artwork, and other amenities in the area. And just one other note, in the area, there's a lot of activity going on. Just to the south of this project will be the CSN Workforce Training Center, and this will be workforce housing. So there's a lot of synergies going on with this development, as well as some of the other projects in the area. This is Art House 4 LLC, Cherry Development, and just some notable projects they've completed in downtown. They have this, completed the Soho Lofts, the Newport Lofts, Share Downtown Arts District, and the recently finished Share Downtown Fremont. The amendment will consist of a few different key points. The project will be roughly about a $28 million project. Just for context, some of the history, this parcel did go out to RFP twice. Unfortunately, we didn't have any qualified bidders on this project, and so a lot of these offerings were actually packaged in the first RFP with neighborhood services as well as EUD. So we'll be contributing $1 million towards the soft costs and the pre-development costs on the construction, which was in the original RFP, $1 million towards the hard costs, and then we're going to be leasing 13,181 square feet of the ground floor retail for 15 years, which again will be the market hall as well as another retail concept that we can program conducive with the other activities in the area. The timeline for the project, project entitlements no later than April of 2024, closing no later than September of 2024, construction to begin before October of 2024, and we hope to have it completed by April of 2026. I know Mr. Garcia and the team is anxious to beat all these timelines, and I know that they'll be, again, working towards a faster completion date. Just again to get you familiar with the actual site, you can see D Street runs to the west, Jefferson to the south, and Madison to the north. I did want to highlight the economic impact of this project. This is during a one-year look at the construction phase, so you can see there'll be roughly 250 or so direct jobs. A lot of those will be construction jobs until after the project is completed, and then there'll be roughly 50 to 55 permanent jobs in the area. You can see a $51 million economic impact, as well as some of the taxes that we'll be generating from this property. Right now, this property is really not producing very much property tax at all for the city. Here's the overall site plan. You'll see it a little bit better on the next couple slides, but again, to the bottom of your screen facing Jefferson, there's two retail components there, and then along D on the far, or the top or the far north of the page, that's where the market hall food hall concept would go. And this is the rendering, again looking to the bottom right of your screen, that is Jefferson, and to the left of your screen, that's D. So with that, we'd be happy to answer any questions. I'd also turn it over to Mr. Garcia if he has any additional comments.
Sure. Good morning, Madam Mayor, council members. Just wanted to also echo Ryan's thank you. Just really wanted to point out some individuals that we worked with through this process. Ryan Smith, Tracy Reich, Jonathan King, Nick Niarchos, Mike Jensen, and of course all of you. Since the last city council meeting, we put a lot of time and effort collectively on both sides to get to where we are today. And it's always a pleasure working with everybody at the city. So again, thank you. We really feel that we've got a huge opportunity with this public-private partnership with checks and balances in place to continue to help make this area, the historic west side, a much better place. And us as developers, we have a huge incentive to make sure that all of these retail spaces that we're talking about leased up, because in reality, it not only creates an amenity for all of our tenants, it also creates a big amenity for the entire area. It creates liveliness, it brings in new businesses, and for example, in our first project in the Arts District, Share Downtown Arts District, as a tenant, you wake up, you get ready for work, and you go downstairs, and you could go to this cute little coffee shop called Dig It Coffee, hop on a bike share, or a bike from the RTC bike share program, go to work, come home, and we've got this great little bar restaurant called Mysterio downtown that you could call your own. So we're looking to create the same vibe, at this project on a larger scale. And through our design that Ryan shared with you guys, we really think that this is going to be the best share downtown that we've done to date. So we're really excited to get started, and with that, happy to help answer any questions too.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Garcia. I know, and looking back to early 2000 when Sam Cherry was the first individual to try to help redevelop downtown with Soho and Newport Lofts, and has done so much. So how wonderful, and this looks like a great project once again, and knowing that all your share properties. This will be called?
Share Downtown West Side.
Share Downtown West Side. Well, it's exciting. I don't know if we have any comments. Yes, please, Councilwoman Diaz, before I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Garcia. It's good to see you at the helm of the third shared downtown project. I saw in the slide deck that there's about 100 units that are going to be part of this community asset that we're trying to make sure that we put the investment for it to happen. How many, is the entirety of the 100 units going to be workforce housing, or is there a certain percentage? I just want to be clear of how many are we adding.
Yeah, so we do have the AMI portion of it. It's all workforce housing.
Okay.
They're all one bedroom. You know, and with the CSN campus next door, you know, we feel that it's going to be a good complement to that as well.
I can, Ryan Smith for the record too, I believe at least 84 of these units have to be maintained as in that 80 to 120% of AMI.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, if there are no other comments, questions from council, then you lucky man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Christmas early.
It is. I just want to get that timeline moved up. Let's start digging tomorrow. This is so needed in our community. It'll be the first really ground up, beautiful project that we are doing for workforce housing in the historic West Side. And as far back I can remember, my 54 years of living in the historic West Side, this is a monumental project. And it's also incentivizing other developers to come into the project. We know that good work always begets more good work, and this is exactly that. So thank you to you and Sam for really, you know, coming into our community and really building a beautiful project. It's fantastic. It really, really, really is. Very, very exciting. Very exciting. So without any more comment, I'm going to make a motion to approve item number 6.
Thank you very much. There's a motion. Please vote and please post. And just hope you do more and more and more. I know you will.
And also,
unanimous.
you know, Madam Mayor, I just want to thank my colleagues on council publicly once again for supporting the work that we're doing in the historic West Side. Support the work of the 100 Plan in Action. You all have been stalwarts, including staff, Mike Jensen, even Jorge Cervantes and others who are here. We hope everybody realizes that I could not do this alone with the work that we're doing. It takes the entire council to be in support. So I just want to thank you all very, very much because you are changing lives with the work that we're doing. So thank you all very, very much to the entire city team.
Wonderful. And so true. Thank you. Okay, thank you. And wonderful. Best everything. Happy holidays. So we'll have our final citizen participation of the Redevelopment Agency. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the Redevelopment Agency. No subject may be acted upon unless that subject is on the agenda and scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, please come to the podium, give your name for the record. The amount of discussion on any single subject as well as the amount of time on any item is allowed may be limited. Anyone wishing to speak under this final participation redevelopment? Hearing and seeing none, we are adjourned and we'll start our city council meeting in 5 minutes. Thank you all.